Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it don't work without you guys. So, been to my orthopedist, and have some shoulder problems here, and he said I actually had looked at the X-ray. He said, he said, you see this little bone right here? You see this little bone? He said, it never grew exactly correct. It's just been kind of floating. It was supposed to attach to this bone right here. And he said, what it's doing is, it's kind of rubbing. He said, because I see a little bit of degeneration in the joint and stuff. He said, you got tendonitis back basically in there. So, gave me a shot of cortisone there. And I have the chicken grease injections for my knee. And what was funny is when I went in with setting up the appointment for them, I wanted to try and get the chicken grease injections because there's 3 of them. They take this needle, and this needle, I'm going to tell you, this needle is so big. How big is this needle? When I was looking at and put it in today, I could see the hole in the needle. It wasn't just like one of those little needles, just see the needles. No, I could see like this. I could see the hole in it because it's this gel they make out of a chicken's comb that is real thick. And what it does is basically it tries to buy you time. You get 3 of them. So I got another one next week and another one the week after. But they take this big ass needle with this gel and I've done some videos where they've done it. Next week I'll show you. But this time, it hurt like a mother. I mean, I was like, ah! He's like, wait a minute, you don't usually. I'm like, yeah, hit something there. You hit something that's a little different than usual. It hurts. So, I'm kind of in pain, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get up and go back in the house. So, I hope I have a full tank of gas, because I might be sleeping out here tonight. So, news. We got all kinds of news. So, first we had, of course, Emmitt Smith drop the bomb and said, Dak, you need to take a team-friendly deal. You need to be okay. So, all right, we've discussed that in nauseum, and I believe that Gil Brandt ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of that off of you, Emmitt, because he came out with his list of Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Now, you guys know I'm in the tank for Dak Prescott. But I looked at that and I was like, I ain't quite ready to say he's the 3rd best quarterback yet in the Dallas Cowboys history. I'm not quite there after 4 years. I'm like, he's heading that direction. If he plays at this level for 6 more years, he'll have Tony Romo's yardage record. I think 7 more years he'll have his touchdown record. So it's conceivable. It's conceivable that he can pass Tony Romo's numbers. I look at Randy White. Randy White, went to 3 NFC championships, couldn't get over the hump. But you got to look at that and say, yeah, we haven't quite gotten there. We haven't even gotten to 1 yet. So I was kind of like taken aback by it. But Gil Brandt clarified his thoughts on this whole situation. What he said was today, if he were starting a team with past Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks, this would be the order that I would take. Now, he said Roger and Troy, without a doubt, they're way up here. He said there's a big gap between Roger and Troy and the other 3. But when you get to the other 3, he said there's not really that much difference. But he's saying if he were to start a team today, right now, what quarterback would I want to have? Roger Staubach, then Troy, then Dak Prescott. Now, another way you look at it is possibly if you say the first 4 years. Roger Staubach, I believe, traded time with Craig Morton his first year. I think that's how it was. But you got to look at him because he won a Super Bowl faster than anybody else. Troy Aikman, his 4th year, 5th year, and seventh year won Super Bowl. You can't argue with those two as far as, or excuse me, his fourth year he won a Super Bowl. So you can't argue with that. Now you can look at Dak Prescott and say, well, in his 4 years, he's gotten 1 playoff win, 2 division titles, leads the Cowboys in yardage in the first 4 years, and is the only quarterback to make it through 3 or more years without being injured. And you look at the number of touchdowns. So you can say, okay, yeah, that's really good for the first 4 years. Danny White, well, he was the punter and behind Roger Staubach for many years, so you could say, yeah, he was back there. And Tony Romo sat on the bench for a couple of years before he actually got his starts. So if you actually say the first 4 years, that makes sense. I'm just saying out there. But it doesn't matter, though, with some of you guys, because some of you guys will say, Dak is behind Quincy Carter back there, and Drew Henson. I take Drew Henson before I take Dak Prescott. And there's no talking to you. There's no talking to you guys. Then, in other news, the NFL owners, not unanimously, of course, passed the CBA deal. They're basically saying, okay, we can work with this. We're okay. They just need to get 2/3 majority. And apparently they did that, but they said not everybody was on board with the new contract. Some people wanted some more, apparently. So now, it's up to the NFLPA. The NFLPA is supposed to be meeting today and tomorrow and maybe having a vote with the players. What they have to do is get 2/3 of the players' reps to say, okay, we're going to pass this. And then it goes to a league-wide vote. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of good stuff in here that some of y'all might like. And definitely some things the players will like. The big sticking point still is 17 games. However, I believe the NFL and the NFLPA looked at what happened before and said, we don't need to be fighting like we did for every penny. Understand, there's plenty of money for everybody. There's so much money that we'll even take care of some retired players. We'll give you guys a bigger cut of the pie. We'll give you a shortened training camp, less workouts during the season. We'll turn a blind eye to weed, just not 150 pounds worth of weed. We can't turn a blind eye to that one. That one we can't. That's just pushing it a little too far. Maybe in the next collective bargaining agreement in 10 years, you get one more team per conference in the playoffs. So you get 3 wild card games on Saturday and 3 wild card games on Sunday. Only one team from each conference will have a bye week. And if they get this thing done, because here's the thing. Here is the thing. You got teams that are waiting to get the CBA done, and you're going to see all kinds of contracts. All kinds of contracts done. Okay? And I can guarantee you one of them that will be done the day after that CBA is done. And that will be Pat Mahomes. My homeboy. Kansas City is running. Not walking, they're running to get that thing done. Currently, they only have $13 million cap space. The new CBA gets in place, there's more money for them to go ahead and get that deal done. They are thinking ahead. They're forward thinking and saying, listen, Pat Mahomes' value is not going to be any less. It's advantageous for us to go ahead and get right in front of that $35 million as close as we can. Because don't let Deshaun Watson go out there and get 37 or 38. Don't let Dak Prescott go out there and get 37, 38, or heaven forbid 40. Because then we're going to have to pay like 45. And you're going to see a lot of teams trying to hurry up and get these deals done because they're worried about everybody else getting their deals done. So you want to be the guy in front, not behind. Jerry Jones. And for the Cowboys, if this deal passes, which I believe it will, I know everybody thinks I'm an idiot, but I've been telling you this since the Super Bowl. I've been telling you this since the Super Bowl when I saw Robert Kraft at the NFLPA party with Winston, the players rep, and DeMar Smith. And everybody was smiles. I told you that. When this thing gets done, there will no longer be 2 tags. 1 tag is all you get. 1 tag. Not 2, one tag. And you got three guys, Dak, Amari, and Byron Jones. You can only use a tag on one of them. So you either have to let two of them go walking bye-bye, or you got to get some deals done real quick. Real quick. You got until March 10th. Today is what, February 28th? We got 9 days left to this month, and then you got 10 more days. That's 19 days. That's it. To do something on that tag for Dak Prescott's deal. Better get to work, guys. You better get to work. And that's all I got to say about that. And as of now, you're caught up. And I'm still in pain. Well, I'm going to sit here for a while. And I will talk to you guys later.